Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. Before I review later in this video the nominees for the GPHG competition and a new release by Tudor, let's take a look at how Patek is handling the Trump tariffs, 39% on Swiss imports. Who's gonna pay? Well, there seemed to be a bit of confusion maybe among the YouTubers. Today I was watching a couple of videos. One of them is saying that Patek is expecting its retailers to take a cutback. Another says that Patek is sharing its part of the tariff. Well, I'm here to tell you that basic mathematics indicate to me that you, the consumers, are going to pay the whole of the 39% tariffs. Basic mathematics. I'm not a mathematic expert, but I think we can figure it out together. Tariff is 39%. Patek doesn't own any retailer shop. They work with retailing partners, and those partners are the importers, or maybe there is a distributor working with them. So the watches from Patek coming into the US don't come at the retail price. They come at the importer's price, which for a brand like Patek that sells well, that's upscale, and that people desire, I would estimate to be around 40%. It might vary model to model, but it's about 40%. I think other brands, say Zenith, for example, might be a bit less, 35, 30%. Leaving the retailers a bit more margin, especially to give you discount. They still can make money, but of course the retailers they take all the risk. They have to have that fancy shop. They have to pay for the electricity, the staff that welcomes you politely, and all that. So when a Patek comes, let's say 100 grand Patek comes into the US, 100 grand retail Patek, because of course the brand will decide on the MSRP, and its authorized dealers have to abide by that price. The importer will pay around $40,000. The tariff is 39%, so multiply 39% by 40,000. That's about 16,000 US. So you get it. If you increase the retail price by 15% on a 100 grand watch, it's 115, which covers pretty much almost the whole of the tariff. At least that's the way I understand it. If you understand it differently, let me know in the comments. And not good news for Patek Philippe customers, especially those who want to play the AD game and will buy that complication watch, which will already lose them some, I don't know, 25, 30, 40% if they had to resell it. Of course, you never resell a Patek Philippe. You don't own it. You keep it for the next generation. But in the real world, people want that entry-level sports model, and to get that one, they have to buy the chronograph or whatever complication. I mean, even the Calatrava, the entry level on the dress watch side, is very expensive, I find. So in the US, it's going to get even more expensive. I don't know if it's across the whole range that they will apply 15%, or maybe that they have a bit of discretion to apply it. So it's going to get tough, I think, for the authorized dealers, and we'll see what gives. Same here in Hong Kong. Not easy to resell those watches, apart from the Aquanaut and the Nautilus. By the way, in Hong Kong, the tariff that was imposed by Trump is for now 10%. So much more reasonable. But of course, if you're buying a used watch, a couple of guys, a couple of viewers reached out to me by email. Hey, I see you might be selling this or that watch. So I remind them, you're probably in the US, my friend. Well, there will be a 10% tax on it, which is reasonable. Another viewer says, hey, I'll be coming to Hong Kong. Maybe we can make a deal there. And in which case, he will probably be smuggling the watch back. And I guess a lot of second-hand dealers are maybe contemplating doing that as well, getting stocks in Canada or other places and try to smuggle them back. And then you take the risk, and the risk of a fine will be, I suppose, maybe not really worth it. Tough situation also for the macro brands, the small brands that sell online. For example, Louis Erard in Switzerland. The buyer in this case in the US is the importer, so he will have to pay the full 39% on the full retail price. So that's a lot more than in the case of a Patek, a brand from the big groups, Swatch, Richemont, and all those. And of course, different tariffs for different places. Europe will be different. So if you buy a longer, might be different, or a Japanese watch. Tough for the second-hand dealers as well to get stock from outside the US, because again they will be forced to pay the full 39% price. So they will be tempted to under-declare, and which means maybe disputes with the customs. And in any case, anything entering the US, there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of things slowing down the process, which is the last thing you want when you're a buyer and you're keen to get your watch as soon as possible. Not to mention, if you buy a watch with a leather band, you know that whatever you do, FedEx is gonna keep it for 2-3 weeks, 1 month, no matter what you do. FedEx are the worst. I would never use them. DHL a bit better, but they still make you fill some forms when you send a watch. So always put most of the value on the movement, which is taxed the least. If I remember well, my preference here in Hong Kong is to use the Hong Kong Post. Very good service, no issue there, not many questions asked either. And in the US, I would prefer the US Postal Services. In general, little by little also, we're going to see what the other watch brands, watch groups are going to do. I believe the Swatch Group has announced a small increase, 5 to 10%. Their public is not the same as Patek, apart maybe for one or two of their brands. It's more middle class, and their prices were already quite high. But also the big difference is that they own most of their boutiques. So whatever they would charge more or less to the importer, is just taking from one pocket to put back in the other. So maybe charging a bit more to the consumers, and the Swiss the company will take some of the hit of the impact of those tariffs. In any case, it's not good, because the market has been much more difficult, and this is not going to help with such a big market as the US, and especially when it hits the middle class, which is the one that's suffering the most to be able to afford daily life, to be able to afford their own house. While I think that the uber rich have more elasticity in their spending, so maybe affecting less Patek. But we'll have to see, because Patek, the ADs, always like to say that nothing is available, while I think they are sitting on some very expensive watches. So I hope that that covers it, and let me know if I miss anything. Let's move on to quickly talk about a new release by Tudor, 39 millimeter in steel with a third-party Moonphase movement. It's the Luna entering into the 1926 lineup. I just went to the website and realized the glamour was gone, and so maybe they're reducing the number of SKUs and just, well, they're adding now 3 more with a Moonphase. It looks okay, integrates okay with the theme of the 1926. 1926, I guess that's when Tudor was established, or who cares? It's a okay watch. Retail, I think, is $2,400 US. There's quite a bit of competition there. And I guess these watches are mostly marketed towards the Asian market, and if you go to a Chinese Tudor authorized dealer website, you will see hundreds of SKUs. Yeah, it's a very different side of Tudor. The enthusiast, we see the Black Bay, the Pelagos, and we used to love the Prince, which was removed eventually from the catalog. Maybe it will come back. It was the one that looked the most like the Datejust, the whole point of Tudor, right? And here 1926 looks all right. They also have the Claire de Mer, I think, Claire de Mer or something like that, which is a ladies oriented kind of a Cartier style of watch. They have the Black Bay 1 in the dressier side as well. That's where they categorize it, which is okay enough. It's a nice little Black Bay. And of course, they have the Royal, which is a bit of a missed opportunity. It looks very old fashioned, just like Omega's Constellation. I think both would greatly benefit from a modern update to the styling, and I don't think this new Luna modern model is really gonna be very successful worldwide, maybe in Asia. You never know. We look at it as a watch enthusiast, and probably I'm not going to rush to buy one, but maybe the man on the street in China is going to want to buy that watch. So, hey, we wish Tudor much success with this release. And finally, let's take a look at the GPHG nominees. We saw the many entries. Anybody can enter a watch. It only costs 800 Swiss francs. So it's a great way to get some promotion if you're a new watchmaker, young watchmaker, if you have a new product, or if you're a macro brand. We saw a lot of Chinese brands entering watches. And now we have the nominations, and it's not exactly important as a competition. I think GPHG is more highlighting great watchmaking because many brands don't participate. Rolex, Patek, Omega, Cartier, and others. And we see the same brands every year, brands that are not exactly the mainstream, like Parmigiani Fleurier, for example, entering on and on the same model with a slightly different dial, perhaps, or a new complication on the same model. And I guess if it was good 5 years ago, it's still good today. But we'd like to see something a bit new, and I think it undermines a bit the competition or the GPHG as a competition. But through all the repeats from the Chopard, Louis Vuitton, Audemars Piguet, Anderson Genève, there are other young watchmakers that shine through this event. Let's take it more as a promotion of watchmaking, just like Watches and Wonders. That being said, let's look at the different watches nominated in the categories. And the ladies category, any lady would love to have a frosted Royal Oak. Nothing new. It's been out for a long time. Buying it in quartz, like they have selected here, would probably be the right thing to do. Most ladies don't really want to wind the watches and set the time and all that. Next to it, we have a bit of a revival there for the Gérald Genta, the Oursin. Louis Vuitton, interesting. Convergence Platinum, nice enough. I don't think it's a jumping hour. Next to it, Piaget. Piaget enters a lot of watches in every category as well. Shaped watches, they're going to be very nice on the wrist, certainly. I'm sure many ladies would love to wear that one. Tiffany & Co. Okay, very poetic, and one of many of the Kari Voutilainen watches. He's one of the darlings of the GPHG. Almost guaranteed is going to be in 3 or 4 categories. This is in the ladies. Why not? But I don't know many ladies who love that vintage style, observatory hands and Breguet numerals. You'd have to really love your mistress if you're gonna spend 125,000 Swiss francs on Voutilainen for her. In the complications, another AP, this time code 1159, so nothing new, but there's a tourbillon on it. great gift for your mistress. Chopard again, Frank Muller, quite nice. Bejeweled, Gucci again, coming with a complication. We saw them already 4 years ago with interesting complications. Something more simple from Hermes, quite like that one, Le Temps Suspendu. And finally, Jacob & Co. Mystery Tourbillon 44 millimeter. If your lady has a bigger wrist than mine. Cool. Serious stuff now. Time only. Copy pasting Daniel Roth from the past to the present. La Fabrique du Temps watchmakers recreating the ambiance of the Daniel Roth. Beautiful watch. It won't be easy to get, won't be cheap either. Then we have a Ming in the selection. You know Ming well, and all the watches tend to be a bit, well, you know, you could say the same thing about Rolex. They're a bit on the same style. It's their style. Parmigiani Fleurier, one of the many Tonda they enter again and again in the competition. This one in platinum. Not really... nice watch, right? But we get it, Parmigiani Fleurier. You do the Tonda. Maybe find another way to promote your watch. Piaget, very cool, very cool. Again, Piaget, a few watches in the competition. Shaped watches. This is the Andy Warhol with the Clou de Paris on the bezel. Very cool. I wouldn't mind wearing that. A bit of a geezer kind of watch when you're in that geezer kind of mood. A bit more serious, maybe. Raoul Pages. His second watch, that's going to cost you quite a bit. He's going to make 50 of them at 89,000 Swiss francs. For that, you have a very simple dial. He calls it understated elegance, which is straight out of the marketing blurb of pretty much every watch brand, especially JLC. But what he's going to say, that it's simple, I guess. And the movement... is probably the star of the show, good finishing, and it features a counterweighted lever on the Swiss lever. That is why it costs 89,000 Swiss francs. A good chance to win. And I quite like this Tasaki, which is not Japanese. It's a Swiss watch, and I love the case back. I think it references the way the factories look from the top where they grow the mother of pearl. I might be wrong, but you can read all the details here. It's 20 grand Swiss francs. And very thin, 6.2 millimeter. So maybe a chance for them in this category. I would pick, I really like the Piaget, I have to say. That's the one I would love to wear. Men's competition, Chopard enters many watches in every category. Promoting again the Quattro, a nice version of the Quattro here. Next to it, Garrick, handmade in the UK, 42 millimeters by 11 for this, jumping second, deadbeat second, 44,000 Swiss francs. Love Garrick. Bit large, but thin, and maybe they have a chance, although they are not Swiss. But there you go, Garrick, I love those guys. Grand Seiko, super accurate spring drive, but the look, we've seen that from Grand Seiko for many years. I don't think it's going to catch the eye of the jury. Laurent Ferrier, again, beautiful. Every year they enter it. Every year, I'm going to say the same thing. It looks great. Many people would love to have one, including me. Now the revival, copy pasting again. The old brand, Urban Jürgensen, they got the money man, and they got Kari Voutilainen, his whole time and his whole resources, his companies, his case and dial maker spend all their time and priority on these watches. So if you're waiting for your watch from a Voutilainen company, that is why you are far back in the queue. Urban Jürgensen is taking the front of the queue. For Voutilainen, it's 113 Swiss francs. This one has a power reserve and a special escapement. Ooh, what could it be? Looks like a pocket watch. Very old-fashioned. I don't like the look of this watch. Zenith, very cool. They impressed at Watches and Wonders with the return of the caliber 135 in platinum. Very cool. So in this category, maybe I'll give it to Garrick, but I'd love to own the... let's say the Zenith, of course, but very expensive. Something more modest, I would say the Chopard. That's love the brand. Men's Complications, another AP where they forgot to put the dial, open worked, perpetual calendar. I think we know the watch. I don't know if they need to enter again the competition. It's like if you were re-entering The Godfather on and on every year at the Oscars. We get it, right? But maybe AP doesn't. So they want to be, again, presenting this watch. All right, next to it, Beauvais. That would be my pick of the bunch. Recital 30. Crazy computer for the watch. World timer. Everything is going to spin on it. Yeah, complicated and super cool. I think they sponsor Daniil Medvedev at, if you like, tennis. Chopard again, Lunar 1. Next to it, well, two darlings of the GPHG, Louis Vuitton and Voutilainen. No, not so cool, not so beautiful, but certainly very complicated, my friend. Lot of colors, if you like colors. Less colors on the Parmigiani Fleurier, re-entering the Toric. I'm starting to really not like that watch. And by the way, tip of the day, if you want to lose 50% of your money, buy one of these and try to reset it the next day. Urban Jorgensen, once again, another one. So we get it. The GPHG is promoting the Carry Voutilainen brand. Urban Jorgensen. Looking like a pocket watch. This one a bit more expensive, 181,000. It has a double wheel escapement because a single wheel is boring. Iconic. Well, every year Anderson Genève re-enters the same world timer, so by now it has become iconic. Well done. Next to it, of course, Royal Oak. Breguet, probably a good chance to win this year with the classic Souscription 2025. Single hand. Just to make your life a bit more difficult. Then Bulgari partnered with MBNF for the male version, I guess, of the Serpentine. Kind of a miss, I think. The Serpentine is all about the bracelet. Where is it? And then we have Parmigiani Fleurier, once again, a Tonda, GMT Rattrapante, and Piaget, another Andy Warhol. Okay, that's, well, they are iconic because they enter the competition every year. All right, next, Tourbillon category, impressive. Arnold Nelson, Bulgari entering again an Octo version of the Octo. Japek, I really don't like the way this turned out. It doesn't appeal to me visually. And by the way, in a more affordable category, we'll see the knockoff by Christopher Ward, very much of this watch. Keep on trolling Japek. Something interesting, I think it is a Chinese watchmaker involved in it. Femme Al Hout de Möbius. Let's take a closer look. Thickness 12.9. Very interesting design for this watch. Complicated. Retrograde hours, minutes, jumping hours, bi-axis tourbillon. Only 26,000 Swiss francs. That's going to ruffle some feathers there in Geneva. Collaboration between Xinyan Dai and Lucas Young. So pioneering figure in contemporary Chinese watch design. So learn more on the website, of course. Yeah, I'll give it to them. So next to it, of course, we have Louis Vuitton pushing again the boundaries of watchmaking with a Taiko spin time, very cool. And of course, Jorgensen with a Tourbillon Remontoir d'Égalité. By now, you get it. It's a big promotion for the UJ brand. They're probably going to win one or two prizes. And the jury usually tries to give everyone who deserves it a prize, so easier when they enter different categories. All these watches are very good, of course. Mechanical exception, Armin Strom, new version, the GMT version of the Resonance, very cool. Grubel 4C spent a ton of money probably on the Nano Foudroyante and probably had nothing left to design it, so it looks a bit like an entry-level Seiko, which is great. Nobody's gonna rob you of your 500,000 Swiss franc Nano Foudroyante. My favorite watch, perhaps, of this competition is the Haseman and Monin. It's a school watch subscription. I think they will make 10 of them, 59,000 Swiss francs. Looks very much hands-on, handmade. Beautiful watch, 10 millimeters only, and by 39.5. What an interesting dial. It has striking complication. Hopefully not striking every minute. Hopefully it's an hour strike going on here. And it has a jumping hour as well. Louis Vuitton pocket watch here in this competition somehow, and Luca Soprana paying homage to Derek Pratt, and there is a Van Cleef. So very different, very ornate watches next to very simple dial executions. I really like that Haseman and Monin, so supporting new young watchmakers straight out of school. Wow, straight out of school, I could do nothing, and they do that. Maybe the big winner of this year. In the chronograph section, I love chronographs. Anderson Genève, finally bringing something new here. Well, not new because they use all Venus calibers in the middle of their world timer. And everything is on the left side just because. With a pusher at the center. It's a split-second chronograph, very nice. Angelus next to it, I love that brand. They used the caliber, you know, that the Cartier Tortue was using, developed by F.P. Journe and I think Denis Flageolet. Then we have some horror concept by Audemars Piguet. Moser forgetting to put a dial on their agenograph version, and Louis Moinet. Quite nice. Maybe Moinet has a chance on this competition. And the Ming, I did a review of this watch, so if you want to know more about the Ming, also using the agenograph for this watch. Yeah, maybe Anderson Genève has a good chance on this one. It's one of they're part of the club, right? And by the way, when those watches get nominated, the brand has to spend 7,000 Swiss francs to pay for the jury costs and also the worldwide tour that this will go on. Maybe I'll get to see them in Hong Kong. AP Offshore, okay, we've seen that before. Chopard, another Alpine Eagle, one of my favorite versions, by the way. Grand Seiko, the Lion, Laurent Ferrier, also we've seen that before. Very nice, of course. Parmigiani et Ferrier, and not my favorite version of the Renaissance, a bit of a one-trick Belgian pony, this time adding a dodgy bracelet to the concept. Not so sure about this one. In the jewelry section, we have a little surprise there, the return of Simon Brett with the chronometre Artisan, a bit more feminine execution to re-enter the competition. They had, of course, won a special prize for the chronometre Artisan that everybody wants, and very few can get. So there you go, you have a new chance. Maybe your wife can get it, and you can steal it from her if you love green. Artistic crafts, always Chopard, Louis Vuitton, battling with Hermès, Piaget, Tiffany, and what would you know, Voutilainen enters a watch, another one in this competition. It's overkill, carry, kill it. That's enough. This one has a crazy dial. Well, you can push on that button if you want to know more about who made that dial. It's all about the dial, the dial, the dial. Petit Aiguille, let's come back to Earth with the prices. Amida, kind of cool. Christopher Ward, as I mentioned before, the knockoff of the Patek. Still haven't seen one. They had promised to send me one. Moser has a digital watch. The Olivier Giroud, I believe, engineered Mad 2. If you can get one, the green, quite nice, inspired by turntables. Nomos, everybody loved that new version of their world timer, Neomatic, at Watches and Wonders. They have a good chance to take it. It's a crowd pleaser for sure, as well as Otsuka Low-Tech with the number 5 Kai. They got a prize last year, and now everybody wants them. But you saw them here first. Here, thanks to the partner of the channel, of course, Backwatch Department. And even more affordable, the challenge, we have Atelier Wen, you know them. My favorite, perhaps, the Beda, Beda, 37mm by 8.1, inspired by the Eclipse. Whatever the inspiration, it's a cool-looking timepiece indicating you when is the next eclipse, wherever you are in the world. No, I'm joking. It doesn't do that. It's just time time only. Barons, again, Orion 1, always kind of cool with Barons. Christopher Ward, I don't know who Mr. Jones is, but this is the watch that's referencing, I guess, a cartoon. Denison, I see them a lot on social media. Stone Dial, okay, we see that quite a bit with the shaped watches. And Kurono Tokyo, again, in the competition. I guess Beda has a good chance here. And at the end of this competition, we have some great clocks, Easter Egg, Kruger, L'Épée, Louis Vuitton. That would be great to have that on your desk at work. What a statement. And at the end, Mickey Eleta and Trilobe. So, you know, Trilobe, of course, the cool watches, a different way to read the time. And strangely, they make a clock, but it's one piece only. So, for the lucky one, 400,000 Swiss francs to spend for this quite esoteric clock. Let me know what you think. I shared with you which ones are my favorite. I guess in the affordable sections, Beda, Otsuka, and in the less affordable sections, I'd love to have an Alpine Eagle from Chopard. But I guess the school watch here of Hazeman and Monin really stands out also by the complication and the reasonable, at the end of the day, price. But of course, it's their first watch, so we just hope that it's gonna work. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, and are you tired of seeing the same watches entering this competition? Who's gonna tell Parmigiani Fleurier that we know the Tonda, we get it? That's enough with it. Bye bye, guys.